people in like the Colombian area, they don't even know how to like write or type things out. And so something as simple as we all are born with the innate ability to be able to speak and kind of let our language be able to interact with these apps. So this person, I don't need to know how to read, write, or I don't need to know the differences between the languages. So we're multilingual between English and Spanish right now. And so if an English person wants to tap into the Spanish market or vice versa, that's what we want to bring a platform to, and that's what we've built. So maybe it's not the best to do a live demo right now. I could have showed you guys a video because I don't have any pictures right here, but essentially you come in here, you would pick a picture, and once you upload the picture, you would then give it your audio of this is a description. You would say, whether in English or in Spanish, this is the product that we're presenting. Here's the price offer. Can you now make that sound good, right? And we all understand the capability of, if you're already going to go take that into GPT and just copy and paste it, we're just streamlining the process for people, right? So they don't have to know how to do any of that. And so I see you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to be an OpenAI type of company. You just can provide a simple solution like this. Sorry, wish I could show you guys on my phone, but interactively, right? To where now you can present this solution to individuals, and receive funding from this, right? So our company has been funded already from this, and so this is what we've been able to build. But this is only as a continuation of like a lot of the products, right? So this isn't the full flushed out, demo and what I would recommend. So typically in the AI space, what companies are really good at doing is something like what I just showed you guys, right? Where obviously I didn't show you guys the interactivity, but once I take a picture and do the audio and upload it, and then it produces the features of the marketplace, you can go get that sold, right? And so you don't necessarily need to be a provider of every single solution or doing everything for everybody, right? You find a very specific need in a market that is willing to pay for what you've produced. And now this company is helping, on the way to be helping thousands of people, in the Colombian market, that we can now expand out all across South America because of the proof of concept, right? And so, sorry guys, I wish I could show you guys the presentation, but
do you have it on your phone? You want just
I could
does the AI voice work?
The voice works. So yeah. This is if I'll do it on my phone so you guys can listen to it. You won't see it up there.
Is that an iPhone?
Yeah.
You can AirPlay if you connect to the Wi-Fi. You can AirPlay to the TV.
Let me
the
see.
TV is VET R1 or VET L1 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and everyone, please help yourself to some coffee. There's some sodas. We also have some pastries on the right. So help yourself to anything you see in the room. And if anyone needs a laptop to take notes, just let me know. Look it up.
I'm not seeing it.
Oh yeah, here are you connected to Wi-Fi?
Oh no, I'm not.
Let's get you on the NPI Wi-Fi. It's going to be capital N, lowercase p, 1 2 3 4 5 exclamation point.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which one? The VET?
Yeah, either the VET ones. Boom.
Can it see? Oh, it doesn't do a screencast?
Oh, is that screencasting?
Because it's only airplane. It's not like how do I do the screencast?
Oh, there it is.
Mm,
There we go. Oh, I should do that.
okay, cool. Thank you, Genius Elias. How many technologist people does it take to figure it out?
Yeah.
All right,
It takes more than one.
more than one. Okay, guys. So I'll just give you guys files that I already have, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel and break it. So here's a picture of a salad, for instance. I'm going to upload an audio just explaining about that salad. Where was it? One sec, guys. I got to find the file.
Yeah, that's so risky. Just like screencasting.
My files. I know. I know. That's why I'm like, And if I record the audio, I don't have a mic. I don't have a microphone, so I can't do that. Live demos. Gotta love it. So one of the cool features about this would actually be if I just upload an image right now and don't actually give it any context, it's not going to let me do it, right? And so we have like safety features in place to where it's like, could you just upload an image? Maybe, but you have to be able to understand as a person, like, especially with AI, it will hallucinate. It's not going to give you the right answers. So you have to be able to know how you're working with it. So one fail-safe is we will never let anybody upload just an image by itself and say without context to that image. So this is how you're working with AI. So if you're putting a layer of audio on it and you're saying, here's how much I'm willing to charge, here's, some limitations to the product specifically, then the AI can then go in and now generate these descriptions and do it for you guys. Let me try to find the audio that I had. So hopefully I can show you guys listening.
What's the main goal of this? When you download that audio, what's the main goal of this? Like you're adding a listing. What is it gonna?
So think of OfferUp, right? It's giving us economic access to. I have a product. I can take a picture of this and I easily upload it to the world and start making money. So it's like eBay, but eBay, you have to go through so many rigorous checks to be verified, to know if your product is able to sell, as well as, being able to kind of have an international pool, right? So we're just taking it a simple things that have already been built, but integrating AI into it to where it seems more fancy, but it's really all the same. Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Looks cool.
Sorry. Yep. Gotta love live demos. Hold on. Audio's right here. Oops. So I'll just play the audio for you guys. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's not piecing together. It's not picking it up, but
De nuestra ensalada de jardín, una deliciosa mezcla de verduras crujientes, jugosos tomates cherry y refrescantes pepinos, todo aderezado con una ligera vinagreta, perfecta para una comida saludable o como acompañamiento.
So vice versa. This is in Spanish, right? We're doing it for the Colombian government, but this is what ultimately it is. So that voice that you heard is what is like the generated, the robot voice, right? So we just record an audio. Hey, here's the salad. Here's a little information, and then it generates the image, the price with that voice now for the person with a fancy description, something that maybe they weren't used to. So, like I said before, it's like people are already probably doing this within their process, taking a product, taking a picture, going to GPT, asking for a description, and then putting it online. So, like I said, you're just taking a process that's already being done and just making it as simple and frictionless as possible, to where I upload a picture from my phone or take a picture, I tell it what I want, and then it does what I need. And so thank you guys for allowing me to share. Unfortunately, I didn't do the best I want, but thank you guys anyway. So if you want,
anybody have questions for Tony? So Tony's developing this AI app. He raised some startup capital to be able to do that. Does anybody have any questions for him before we let him go? Yeah, go for it.
Are we going to be able to test it out?
yeah, I'll actually I have a video of our working model. Let me give that to you guys. If you guys want, so like our company, I'll put it up here. Replicate.com, so it's REPLIC and then AIDE. Definitely reach out to us. We're working in a lot of different ways right now, but we're starting to kind of carve out specific use cases for specific industries like real estate, as you saw, e-commerce, and we're looking to bring this more wide scale. So yeah, I mean, really, if you, I didn't even get you guys an interaction with our AI, but I can kind of show you guys just an example. Like most people have kind of been seeing GPT's new kind of feature for their voice, and so how we're able to like reinvent that in our own way, right? To where it's we're not reliant on any of those providers. Oh, my screen went away. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Hey, Humphrey, are you there?
Check your microphone settings.
Oh yeah,
Your audio is
it's not coming. It can't. How do I?
There's a sound thing.
Yeah. Or it could be. Would it be here? Oh dang! There's so many options now.
Mm-hmm. No, that wasn't right. I don't know. That's not working. How do I?
Here, I think right here, there's this. Okay. Well, do you want to try it?
I'll just do it. I'll do it without, guys. You gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah.
You gotta roll with the punches. Because I'm screen mirroring, so it's not gonna let me take my mic. So I'll just play it for you guys. Hey, Humphrey, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here. How can I help you?
So I'm here
Great.
at Nevada's Partners. We're having some technical difficulties. Can you just share with us a little bit about what is important for people when learning about AI and using a service like a voice chatbot like you that we can speak to?
Ah, right, I see. When learning about AI and using voice chatbots like me, it's important to understand a few things. First, AI is designed to help make tasks easier and more efficient. It can learn from interactions, so the more you use it, the better it gets. Also, voice chatbots are great for hands-free assistance and can be used for various tasks like setting reminders, answering questions, or even just having a chat. Plus, they can be quite fun and engaging. Anything else you need to know?
Yeah, how can you talk about some of your specific capabilities? Like, are you able to tell the difference between loud, noisy environments, different speakers talking? Can you just give me more specifics instead of just generalizing?
Specifics, of course. Well, I use advanced speech-to-text technology that helps me understand speech, even in noisy environments. I can also distinguish between different speakers, which is handy in group settings. Plus, I can answer questions, provide information, and even learn from past interactions to improve over time. Anything else you're curious about?
Yeah, what's the weather like out in Colombia right now? I'm just curious for our client that we're pitching.
I'll look into that for you. Hold tight. Right, so in Colombia, the weather varies quite a bit. For example, in Bogota, it's around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, Well, in Barranquilla, it's warmer at 81 degrees. Do you have a specific city in mind, or is that helpful for your page?
Medellin. Tell me the where it is in Medellin. No, I broke him. Well, you always gotta test their capabilities, how far they can go. Humphrey, are you still there, or did I lose you?
I'm still here. No worries. Testing capabilities is definitely a smart move. Anything else you'd like to try out or know about?
Yeah. What happened to the last question I asked you? Do you remember?
Yes, you asked about the weather in Colombia. I
Where
gave you a range of
specifically?
temperatures. I mentioned temperatures for
No,
several
I asked you
cities.
for Medellin. So you got to argue with them sometimes.
I see what you mean now. Sometimes it's tricky with these things, isn't it? Anything else you'd like to dive into?
Yes. Now tell me the weather in Medellin, please, in the capital of Colombia.
Got it. In Bogota, the capital of Colombia, the weather is around 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, not Bogota. Medellin, please.
I see. Apologies for the mix-up. Let me find out the weather in Marine for you. Could you please specify the exact location, as Marine isn't ringing a bell?
Medellin, Colombia.
Got it, Medellin. Let me check the current weather there.
Because I'm not
for you.
saying it the way he
Hang
likes
on a
it. He has an English accent, and so we're working on
I see.
that. So I'll show you guys actually our other model really quick, and then you guys can ask questions. I'm sorry I'm taking up a bulk of the time here because of the technology, but obviously the models that this guy that I'm showing you guys right now is just an English accent, right? But when we have one that's in fluent Spanish, it has to be able to have the Spanish accent. And I'll show you guys that really quick. Any questions while I'm pulling this up?
Favorite thing that you want to achieve with this? You already went over it, but like, is there anything else you would like to say about like what the end goal is? Like, what is the impact you think?
We're all gonna change how we do business moving forward. Sounds very.
Oh, I see. Are you talking about some new business strategies or change?
Andreas, I'm just gonna let you. I'll tell you when to jump in. Okay.
Sure thing. Just let me know when you're ready for me to jump in.
Sorry, guys. So we're gonna moving forward. Business will be done differently. I'll have a handy sidekick. So when you and I are interacting, if I start going off the rails, he'll jump in and say, "Tony," right? As a person would be there, and I think just giving us accessibility. Now I'm not fluent in Spanish. Ricardo, can you tell a funny joke in Spanish, please?
Claro. Aquí va un chiste. ¿Sabes cómo se llama el café más peligroso del mundo? No, ¿cómo? El expreso. Espero que te haya sacado una sonrisa.
So he'll do things that I can't do, right? And so I think now us as people, we have like superhuman abilities, right? In a sense, with this technology, if it's being used the right way. So I want this to be used, as you guys saw, like we're going to the Colombian government right away and we're saying, hey, people don't know how to text, they don't know how to read, they don't know how to write, but they know how to speak. We all know how to do that. And so if we're all able to just communicate and now the world around us can function and do what we want, that's what I believe what we're pushing. So
Beautiful.
thank you.
All right, beautiful.
Thank you, Tony.
It sounds like you're really focusing on leveraging technology to enhance communication and accessibility. That's a powerful vision.
All right. Okay. Tony talked a lot about ChatGPT. Who here has used ChatGPT? Awesome. Who here has not used AI or is like brand new with AI? A couple people brand new with AI. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick. So our next presenter is gonna be Kim Zuniga with Chase Bank. While we wait for her, I'm gonna share this presentation that I have with TechStart. That is gonna just be a quick crash course on AI, and hopefully, everybody walks away with something in this. But welcome. This is the Digital Revolution Mastermind. Normally, when I do this workshop, I try to encourage people to have their laptops out, so that way you can have ChatGPT open, Google Docs, and even like your website technology, digital marketing tools, or anything like that. Because with the power of AI, what Tony's trying to teach us here is we can move a lot faster, right? Like we can move so much faster in so many different ways, right? Like for example, so many companies, need to market to the Spanish audiences, but they may not know Spanish themselves, but they want to reach out to the audience. In the past, you'd have to work with, all these different folks to translate those materials, and it would take days, weeks to do that. And now with AI, you can do it instantly, right? So AI is allowing us to move a lot faster. And in 2024, we spent a lot of time in this incubator implementing what we called AI-powered CRMs. So I'm just going to talk about what that is first. So AI, what it stands for is it's artificial intelligence. And it's insane. It's literally a brain on the internet, okay, that has extreme processing power. The other piece to it is the CRM. Who here is familiar with the term of CRM? It's okay if any folks aren't. I know a couple people are because they've done my class before. But a CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, okay? And whether you know it or not, we all have CRMs already. We are all ready. If we're in business, if we're in community, we're already managing contacts. We're already managing relationships with people. Now, the technology we use most of the time is going to be a phone or a notepad, keep track of like who we're talking to, what the notes are, like what the contact information is. But the cool thing is that there's technology now that can help you reach more people at scale. So your notebook and your phone, maybe you're used to talking to 10 to 20 people a day if you're running a business. With a CRM, you can talk to hundreds or thousands of people in a day. And that's how Google talks to all of us, right? Like Google's talking to billions of people on this earth, and it's because of their technology. And so technology, especially in AI, has boomed a lot since it came out. So it came out in about November 2022. 2023, we just saw this huge boom. Now we're already in 2024. There's thousands of AI tools that are out there. According to Stanford, in 2023 alone, there was 350,000 AI projects. Now, why is this important? We are on the dawn of a new era in technology. And so, back in the day when the internet was just being adopted, there were some folks who didn't adopt to the internet right away, right? There are some people who were like, this is a fad. It's just going to pass. And now the internet powers so much of our world. AI is that new frontier. And it's almost, I really like to think about it as electricity. Everybody's going to use it. AI is going to be embedded in so many different systems within our world within the next 20, 30 years. And so how can my whole thing with TechStart is you got all these big companies leveraging all the biggest technologies and biggest resources and disrupting the world. Well, how about us right here in this room? How can we empower ourselves to have access to this technology so that we're not disrupted, but we're actually empowered? And so that's why we're talking about this. And so there's a couple of tools that I'm going to share with you all right now that are AI tools, and I'll show you how to use them so that you can start using them when you get home or even later today. But the tools that I like to focus on, the first one is OpenAI. OpenAI is probably the biggest AI company in the world right now. That is at least having the most amount of traction, raised the most amount of money, and is just the most successful. And they are the ones that power ChatGPT. And much like electricity, they, help power companies like Tony's company, right? Like Tony's and these technology startups are building on top of AI technology. And guys, like even the AI technology is just building on top of microchips, right? So everything is building on top of each other to figure out how can we bring value to the world. And so how can you guys use OpenAI to bring value to your world? We're going to talk about that. Some other tools include Gemini, which is Google's version. So Google released their own AI. And funny enough, you guys, I saw this video. Anybody know the founders of Google? Anybody? Pop quiz. Founders of Google. There's two of them. They're Stanford college kids that doing this in their graduate research project. And then they came up with Google and took over the world. Going once, going twice. All right, it's Larry Page and Sergey Brin, okay? Larry Page, Sergey Brin, all right? They were like 20 years old when they founded Google. And there's this interview back in the 90s with Larry Page, and he's talking about the end game with Google is that ultimately we're just going to have AI on the cloud that understands the entire internet, and you can just ask AI what you want, and it'll come to you. He said that like 25 years ago, right? And he was like, it's going to take a long time for us to get here. Well, folks, we are here now. All right, Google has AI on the internet, learning about everything out in the internet. So you can just ask AI a question and give you an answer. Some other tools I'm going to show you is HeyGen. Anybody want to clone themselves digitally? No? A couple people, maybe? Okay. All right, I'll show you why that's important. And there's a couple more tools, but let's just get right into it. So this is HeyGen. HeyGen allows you to clone yourself digitally or to create AI video or AI audio presentations. So if you have a business and you aren't like very comfortable behind the camera, or maybe you don't have time to be always behind the camera, you can actually either invent your own avatar, or you can clone yourself and you can have that talk for you for your business. So here's an example. Let's see. Okay, so guys, that was English, Arabic, Spanish, and Chinese. All right, I barely know English. Okay, like that was my digital clone. You're gonna tell speaking the other languages, and so it looks pretty real. Doesn't that look pretty real? Could you have tell that was like a clone if I wasn't speaking Chinese? Yeah, so that's the power of this. So why would somebody do this? For example, I work with some healthcare companies, and healthcare companies need to provide continuous training for their staff. And sometimes the head doctors are busy. They're too busy to like teach every single new employee that comes in there, especially if there's hundreds of employees. And maybe they're even too busy to continue updating their curriculum, at least recording the videos. You know, that's a whole thing. You got to get your makeup ready, your mindset ready, you know, get behind the camera. It takes time to prepare for doing video. And so what we could do is we can clone somebody. We can clone that head doctor. And then that person that, you know, she can provide a curriculum and say, okay, this is what people need to learn. And then her clone could just read the curriculum. And you take 20 minutes, or like literally 5 minutes of video to clone yourself, and you can create hours of content. And so there's so much that you could do with that. Good morning, welcome. And so HeyGen is a really cool product, but there's a couple others. Let's see. I'm gonna skip ahead here and just go right into ChatGPT stuff because, yeah, I'm gonna go right into ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is literally chatgpt.com. There's a bunch of links that you get to it. Now you got to use the official one. Don't use. You don't need to use. You know, if you Google ChatGPT, you're gonna find a lot of people who are building on top of ChatGPT that want you to use their products, and that's okay, but you don't need to. You can just go to chatgpt.com. They have a couple different models. So right now we're on the 4.0 mini model, which pretty much the O stands for Omni. So Omni means it can see and it can talk, and soon it can even create video. But ChatGPT, we can talk to it about anything, right? Like I can talk to it about my health. I can talk to it about my dating life. I can talk to it about my mental health. But that's not why we're here, right? On a Saturday, we came to the Profit Startups Conference to learn about how we can apply this to our business. And so how do we apply ChatGPT into our business? Okay, I need a volunteer. Who wants to volunteer their business? All right, Jason, what's the name of your company?
Manatron Stargate Technology.
Manage your own?
Manatron.
Megatron.
Yeah, METATRON. Manatron Stargate Technology.
Okay, cool. All right, so check this out. So I just had to write that down. So first, I'm going to tell ChatGPT, yo, what's up? And it'll talk to you, however. It said not much, just here and ready to chat. Okay, all right. Seriously, though, we are working on our new business project. And I'm going to go ahead and paste the name. And now it's going to be like, okay, that sounds cool. What do we need to do? Well, there's a couple of things that you need to do if you're working on your business project. All right, what I recommend, at the very least, have a one-pager. There's so much power in having a one-pager to communicate your ideas of your business. I know it's important to have a business plan, but before you spend time creating a 20 to 100-page business plan, at the very least, can you create a one-pager that's powerful? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say, let's create a one-pager, and then we can even give it more direction. Sometimes you can ask ChatGPT, what should go into a one-pager if we don't know, right? Sometimes I'll write a contract, but I'm not a lawyer. So I'll ask ChatGPT, what should go into the contract, right? So let's create a one-pager. What should go into the one pager, we can go ahead and ask it. It's going to give us some advice. All right, so now it's, it's saying headline, mission statement, problem, solution, key features, offering, market opportunity. Yeah, that's all great. That's all great. It might be too long, but you can also just tell it what you want, right? So like in a one pager that I do, I always do like objective, executive summary, and then how this thing works, like the 3 to 5 steps of how this thing works, and then social proof. Who do I have already involved in all of this? Okay, Jason. So in one line, tell us what Stargate Technologies does.
It's a desalination saltwater plant that also uses solar panels, lasers to boil the water, Tesla coils, and wind and wet turbine blades like in a Hoover Dam.
Okay. And wind turbines and to power cities sustainably, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, I could literally just take the one-liner he said and say, here's our one-liner, make a one-pager. Right? So you see what I'm giving it? I just said, here's our one-liner, make a one-pager. It already told us how it's going to make the one-pager. I'm just going to hit enter, and it's literally going to go ahead and start making this one-pager. Now, while ChatGPT is working, I'm going to go to Google Docs. So that's, Google Drive or docs.google.com is Google's such a powerful tool for being able to power the world. They say money powers the world. Well, documents power the world too, right? Documents literally power our laws, and they can help us communicate our ideas so that we can work on our businesses with people. So look, ChatGPT worked on this one pager. So now let me just go ahead and I'm going to copy this whole thing and throw it into my document. And I'll share all this with you, Jason. Okay. So you have it. Okay, so it gave us like a 3-pager. That's annoying. When I say a 1-pager, I literally mean a 1-pager. I literally mean fit that on a 1-page document so that when we're going to people, let me tell you something. If you're pitching people, you're pitching customers, you're pitching investors, you're pitching entrepreneurs, you're pitching government people, they're busy. Everybody's busy. Aren't you busy with your life and everything? If somebody comes to you and says, hey, can I get feedback on my idea? You'd be like, yeah, sure. What do you do if they, put down like a stack of papers on your desk, right? Like 30 pages. Are you still going to be able to help them? Probably gonna be like, you got to book some time. This is actually I charge $300 an hour now that we're thinking about it because this is too much work. But if you have a 1-pager, it's like, look, I just have 1 page, and it's important because sometimes we say too much, right? But if you reduce yourself to focusing on 1 page, you can communicate your most important ideas. So look, this is 3 pages, way too long. We're gonna say, make this more succinct is the word I like to use, so it fits into 1 page. And then actually, I could even go as far as say, make it 750 words, right? Or whatever the word count is. And so now it's going to be a lot smaller, hopefully. Okay. All right. So it might still be big, and this is where we're just going to choose what to cut off. So I'm going to just go from key features to the beginning. There we go. Key features and up. And let's see how that fits. All right. Still at more than 1 page. So now we're just going to be playing some tricks. Like, you can do some document formatting. So for example, I can try to adjust. I normally got to get into the header. Like I try to go into my header here, and then this weird thing pops up somewhere. Anybody know how to cut down the margins on a page? There's somewhere I can cut down the margins on my page. And that's what I want to do so that I can be able to fit more into my document so that it can truly be 1 page when I print this out. I really do I'm so serious. File, page setup. Booyah. Thank you. Okay. Who's got time for 1-inch margins? Let's go with 0.3. And we'll keep the ones on the left and the right. We'll just go 0.3 on the top and bottom. So that way, just tighten it up a little bit. Maybe even bring it down to 0. All right, we're going to cut off key features for now. And I'm just going to leave this alone at the moment, okay? This 1-pager is going to need some more work. I'm trying to think. I might have like an actual 1-pager that I worked on. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Yeah. For any ideas, I'll always try to put together a 1-pager, even for like doing sales when I'm selling to people, even the installment of this library, so grateful for our sponsors All True Care, PHS, Los Vaqueros, they sponsored building this library. It was almost $5,000. And we were able to get that sponsorship through a one-pager because we communicated what we wanted to accomplish with a one-pager, and then we use this as a platform to honor veterans in the community. And so one-pagers are super powerful, but ChatGPT doesn't need to stop there. We can do a lot more. So now I can say, okay, I got my one-pager, but what else do you think we need to do now that we have a one-pager? We need to business plan. Business plan is, I get it, but the one-pager is going to be in lieu of a business plan right now. Because sometimes the 20 to 50 pages, right, that's important if you're applying for a grant, if you're applying for a loan, if you're trying to get an investor. But the one-pager is just like moving fast so that you can get supporters, get customers, and stuff like that. Jason.
The market research, like how much money you can make from it?
Sure. Yeah, we could do market research. Here's what I would suggest we do. Let's write an email. Let's take our one-pager now that we have it, and let's draft an email that we can start sending it to people. An email inviting folks to book a call with me about this project and attaching the one-pager. All right? And there's something that was missing here that I skipped, and it's so critical. I'm going to tell you what this is, and hopefully you remember this every single time you put together anything on a document. And that is, who is the desired target audience? Who is it that's going to read this thing? Because I'll tell you what, a parent is going to read this differently than an investor. Is going to read this differently than a government employee. Is going to read this differently than the assemblyman we got to speak to today, right? And so whenever we're working on documents, we need to have two things in mind: who it is that we're speaking to and what it is that we want them to do with that, okay? And we need to have that clear in our own minds, because if it's not clear in our own minds, how's it going to be clear in their minds when we're pitching them? A lot of times, sometimes we take this pitch and we pitch the same thing to everybody, but not everybody's going to react the same way. You got to understand. I think there's a Confucius proverb. It goes, to be understood, you need to seek to understand. And so if you want your customers to understand what you're selling, you need to understand who your customers are. You need to understand what's important to them. All right, so look, it wrote this email now, which is not too bad. But again, it's missing target audience. So we're going to ask it, who are some potential target audiences for this this project? Who are some potential targets that I should talk to about this project? And let's see what it says. All right, so first thing it said is government, municipal agencies. Second thing is private sector corporations. Third thing is venture capitalists, impact investors, NGOs, universities. Oh my gosh, this list is so long. And sometimes we want to be everything to everybody, but that's not going to help us be successful in our business. It's going to make us too thin. Sometimes we need to go for depth in order to drive impact. So we have to focus on one of these. So let's go ahead and, we can do governments, but here, if we're going to do this in the real line of like actually trying to do this for real, I'll just tell you what, I'll just shortcut some stuff for you, based off of experience. Sometimes we need to take the path of most learnings first, and we need to take the path of least friction first. And we have to understand who is it that's going to be willing to teach us about this thing. So if we have a business that we're selling, who is our target customers, and who of my target customers can I go talk to 100 of them? And when I talk to them, they're going to teach me something, and they might become my customer too. I'll tell you what, governments, they're not those folks. All right, they're not hundreds of them will reply to you, not hundreds of them will teach you, because they've got a legitimate job. They're overwhelmed. They have tons of things, being hit at them in 1,000 different ways. They don't got time to sit down and pause to try to educate you. You need to be, when you're talking to government people, you need to be already ready. You know what I'm saying? Like LLC is done, EIN is done. You got your cash flow, you got your banking, you've got your certificates, and you can speak their language. And they're not going to teach you how to speak their language. All right. So that's just, and same deal with like venture capitalists, right? VCs and investors are seeing thousands of pitches a day, and they like to brag about that stuff. We had a VC here from Mexico a couple of months ago, and he said that he sees 3,000 pitches a year for his startup. He has a $40 million fund, and they reject like 2,970 of the people who apply to them. right? And so that's just the reality. Again, VCs aren't going to have the time to sit down and pause and try to coach you, at least not hundreds of them. Maybe you'll get lucky with a couple. But what we're trying to do is, who is now the target customer that we can go talk to hundreds of them, learn a ton, understand the language, and be able to start selling stuff. And so it's not governments. And it might not even be companies. Actually, the thing that I saw in here that spoke out to me, the two things, one was academic institutions, because university professors, high school teachers, they are, that's their passion. Their passion is teaching, okay? And some of them might have bandwidth, some of them won't. But the number one thing that spoke out to me was actually the sustainability and clean tech conferences. All right, those are the folks, their job is literally to talk to hundreds of people, right? So anybody who is organizing clean tech conferences or speaking at clean tech conferences, I think that is going to be a lot better. So let's go ahead and double click on that niche of sustainability and clean tech conferences. And so now I'm going to say, ChatGPT, research the top 100 sustainability and clean tech conferences and events in North America. All right, and then now it's going to go ahead and do some Googling. Cool. So now we have a list of conferences. All right. So in addition to our Google Doc, I'm going to also open up a spreadsheet now. And this is, guys, the whole point of why I'm doing this is, how do we use AI so that we can move at lightning speed, so that we can execute, right? Because sometimes, we got these businesses and they're just in our heads and we're not doing any, we're working on them in our heads. But that's not how you're going to grow a business. It's not how you're going to launch your startup. You need to go talk to people out on the field. And so one thing I always recommend if you're just getting started is develop a top 100 list. All right, develop a top 100 list of who are 100 people that I can go talk to. And now we at least have a couple of these conferences here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that into my spreadsheet. All right, and I'll just get rid of the descriptions. Okay, anybody here watch Catfish? You know what I'm talking about? Who watches Catfish? Somebody tell us about Catfish, please.
Okay. So Catfish is a TV show where people do online dating, and one person is not very forthcoming. They may not video chat, they may not talk on the phone or anything, but the other person thinks that they're in a true relationship. And so in Catfish, they have a team of people that help you uncover who this person really is.
Yep. And one of the things I really like about Catfish is, with just a little bit of information, they can find where somebody lives, where they work, what their real name is, all those things. Now, look, I'm not telling you to do that for relationship stalking. Okay, that's not why we're here at the Promise Startups Conference. We're here to build business. And so, how can we apply the Catfish skills though in business? Let me show you. We got the Clean Tech and Sustainability Expo that happens in Vancouver. Okay, might be a little too far. Let's look at the Clean Tech Forum in San Francisco. So what I'll do is, if I find a company that I want to work with, I'll Google that and I'll just throw LinkedIn next to it. And now we've got the Clean Tech group on LinkedIn. All right, so now we got the group and we got some people. We found the people too. So Richard Youngman, he is the CEO of this company. All right, and so now I'm going to take Richard and I'm going to go ahead and add him to my list next to the Clean Tech Forum. And surprisingly enough, you guys, we can actually even find like all those things, where Richard lives, what, where his office is at, what his email's at, what his phone number's at. We just need to have some of the patience that they have on Catfish. They're doing all this Googling, but this is real, y'all. This is how you can build, earn thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and eventually millions of dollars when you can understand, who your target audiences are. And so we got Richard Youngman here. Young ma'am, I guess. Okay, now we're going to type in Clean Tech Forum, and then we're going to type in email. And this is the hard part. All right, so now we have info@cleantech.com. All right, look, I just found an email. That's not Richard's email, but it's somebody's email. So if I can't find Richard's email, I'm going to at least have that one. But with a little bit more searching, we might find Richard's email. So at least we got that email. Okay, this is going to be... We got forums. This ain't it. All right. Oh, there it is. Do y'all see this? Richard.youngman@cleantech cleantech.com. We literally have his email now. And you can, this is the task here. So now we got, Clean Tech Forum, Richard, and we go back to ChatGPT and we can say, write an email to this guy. And look, ChatGPT can ignore my typos. So that's always nice to see. There you go. So hi, Richard. My name is Jason. I'm the founder of Megatron Stargate Technologies. And we can even do even more, right? So I can say, okay, research Clean Tech Forum and personalize this email. And then the conference is 2025. Ask for a conference ticket. I'm just a wee little student, trying to get, my stuff together. And hey, look, sometimes saying you're a student of a college or you're a startup entrepreneur, sometimes that speaks to people. If you can't afford the $2,000 ticket, ask and you shall receive, or you might receive. But if you don't ask, you won't even get anything. You already got my mom would always tell me, you already got to know in your pocket. If you at least ask, maybe you'll get a yes. And so now we have a new email. I'm a student at blah, blah, blah. I'm extremely interested in attending the Clean Tech Forum and learning about this as a budding entrepreneur. This is my company. Thank you so much for considering my request. Now this is where the hard part comes in. Now it's like, how do you do this times 100? Because you can do it one time. And, I say this often. It's like, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. This is one egg. It might hatch. It might not. But if we had 100 eggs, it's more likely that one of them or a couple of them are going to hatch into something. And so now we got this email. Jason, what's your email? I'll share this with you.
Jason berserkerdragonheart@gmail.com.
Berserker dragonheart@gmail.com. Did I write it correct?
Let me see. I can't see. I didn't bring my glasses.
All good. It's right up there.
No, with the S. All right. Z.
Cool. That's you?
Yep.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So what was that? 10 minutes? 7 minutes? That's the power of ChatGPT. When you get home, go to chatgpt.com, open up Google Docs, and start working on your business concept a little bit more. Get to a one-pager, figure out who you need to get this one-pager in front of, find 100 of them, get it in front of 100 of them. If you can do that, y'all, you won't need a New Year's resolution. If this becomes your New Year's resolution and you send out 100 requests to potential customers, I guarantee you'll at least have 2 or 3 mind-blowing conversations with people. All right. And so this is my tip for y'all. Does anybody have any questions about other ways you can implement ChatGPT in your business? Yeah.
Isn't there an automatic email software already?
There is, yeah. Yeah, there is. But there's tons of automated email software. TechStart, my company, we have CRM software. If you're interested in getting access to it as a Promise Startups member, one of the benefits you get as a member is you get free access to the software to get started, so you can start doing email blasting. But what I'll say about automations, I had this one guy that I got to work with, and this is alleged. I think his name was Bill Gurley. Bill Gurley was an early investor of Uber and Instawork, and I got to work at both of those startups. And he said something that was part of his culture, which was do things that don't scale in order to do things that do scale. Sometimes we stop ourselves from doing the small steps because we're waiting for the big steps to come into place. But the reality is we just take small steps every single day. And even though it might feel like a lot of work, it's worth it, because once you do the things that don't scale, like researching every single Richard young man in North America that potentially can help you with your business, that's not very scalable, right? You're going to spend 2, 3, 20 hours potentially doing that. But because you do that groundwork, eventually you might be able to start attracting Richards into your universe, right? And when you do that, now you're suddenly scalable. But I'll give you a different example. With Uber, Uber is a very scalable business. It was considered the fastest growing business in the world and the fastest growing time for startups in the world, right? They went from 0 to 80 billion in like 5 years. It was insane, or 7 years. And the way that, people were very nervous about getting into rides with a stranger, right? Like the culture 10, 15 years ago was like, no, that doesn't make sense. Somebody's going to come pick me up in his Chevy, like humpback, and I'm just going to hop in and send my kids over with them. Like what? But that's now the culture. So Uber had to do things that didn't make sense, that weren't scalable to scale. What did that mean? We literally had brand ambassadors in cities all around the world teaching people like, hey, do you need a ride? Oh yeah, I can get you a ride. Pull out your phone. Okay, download this app. Okay, get your credit card. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Like literally spend 5 minutes with every single person teaching them how to use the Uber app. And that is not very scalable, right? But they don't have to do that anymore because they've been able to pass a certain threshold where they've talked to enough people that people are able to educate each other, right? Christian can show his mom how to use Uber if she's struggling, or his new friend, or whatever that might look like. But that wasn't the reality 10, 15 years ago. They had to do things that weren't scalable to scale. And so there's not any shortcuts, when it comes to business, at least not that I know of. I think the reality is you just got to, lean in and do the work. And sometimes our measuring sticks are wrong. Sometimes we say, oh man, I had that one pitch and it didn't go well. Dang, that sucks. Well, you shouldn't have stayed on one pitch. Maybe it's 100 pitches. Maybe it's thousands of pitches. This year, Cyril and I were doing the stats, and we posted over 1,000 videos this year on social media, right? People tell you, oh, you got to post content. Even the 1,000 videos that we posted, we got like maybe 100,000 views. Other people in our industry are posting thousands of videos a month, right? So the measuring stick that we use, because we're in an environment where we don't necessarily always have multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire colleagues that are showing us how they're doing it, their measuring sticks are way different. Right. So that'd be my advice. And ChatGPT is an accelerant. Okay. So use ChatGPT all the time. And if you guys get stuck, I hope we get to see you again in 2025, where we'll be, working on our businesses in this room. Yeah, please.
All that you've shown us on ChatGPT, is this the free version? Or
Yep.
Is that the paid version?
That was the free version. I got you. Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you do the email outreach to people, once you've identified the most learning and least resistance or path, how much personalization and research do you add to the emails versus it sounding like a generic AI generated email?
Yeah.
Based on your experience too, how much time do you invest in adding that research and personalization to each email depending on if it's 100 people?
Yeah. There's a couple of different factors that go into that. But I'll tell you how I make the factor just make sense the most. Is that if I'm receiving the email from somebody, how do I want to receive it, right? And so it's like, treat unto others how you wish to be treated type, psychology. So like I get tons of emails from people, and some of the emails I get are super generic. I just throw them in the trash. Actually, I do a little bit better than that. I put them on my email list. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna email blast me, I'm gonna email blast you too. Okay, but if it's generic, it doesn't move me enough. Especially if they get information wrong about me, then it's like, oh, come on, you didn't even spend 2 minutes on me. So I would try to personalize it. There's another factor that comes to that, which is what are you giving them? All right. Now I get an email that says, hey, if you jump on a call with me, I'll give you a $25 DoorDash gift card. Okay. I'll get on a call with you. Give me that $25 DoorDash and, pay for my lunch. Why not? Right. So if you're delivering something that has high value to the person you're sending it, then maybe you don't need as much personalization. Right. But if you're delivering something where you are extracting value because you're reaching out to a high level CEO because you need to learn, blah, 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 then yeah, you should spend some research time on that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay, well, that concludes my session and Tony's session. Tony, thank you for presenting. And next up, we've got Kim Zuniga here with us from Chase Bank. And so let's give her a round of applause to come on up here. Thank you, Kim. I'm going to reset the stream here.